Sienna, and I'm going to be doing my book talk on who was Harriet Tubman. This book is written by Yana Zeldis McDonough and illustrated by Nancy Harrison. Harriet Tubman was a very important woman back in the Civil War when slavery was going on. She was born around March 1822 and died March 10th, 1913, when she was 91. Harriet was born a slave in Maryland. In 1849, she escaped to Philadelphia and became a cook and cleaner at a hotel. Now I'm going to read you a passage from this book. Sometime around 1820, in Maryland, a slave named Harriet Rose had a baby girl. Neither Harriet, who was called Old Rip, nor her husband Ben could read or write, so they couldn't record the baby's year of birth. No one else thought it was worth doing, but Old Rip loved her tiny child and wanted to protect her. She hoped her little girl, whose nickname was Minty, would learn to sew, cook, or weave, and then she could be a house slave and avoid the back-breaking work picking crops like tobacco, corn, or wheat in the fields. Old Rip and Ben had been born slaves. They had many children, all of whom were slaves too. Black people had been slaves in the United States for a long time, ever since 1619, when blacks from Africa were kidnapped and brought on slave ships to Virginia. Slavery had been a part of an American life. By the early 1800s, most of the northern states had stopped slavery, but the southern states had not. Slaves like Ben and Old Rip worked very hard, yet they were not paid for their work. Instead, Ben and Old Rip lived on land owned by their master, a man named Dr. Rhodes. This land and the many buildings on it was called plantation. Now I'm going to share with you 3 facts from this book. Number 1. Harriet was a former slave that risked her life to help other slaves escape to freedom. Number 2. She was a Civil War spy that helped the Union Army. Number 3. A nurse who helped soldiers during the Civil War. Thank you for listening to my book talk. Please read to find out more about who was Harriet Tubman, written by Yana Zeldis McDonough. Thank you.